Tonight we're going to hear from Stacy Siwak and Brad Gross, winners of the 2010 Eli and Rosalind Grosberg Leadership Awards. Their bios are included in the program. They are emblematic of the exceptional young leaders we have here in St. Louis. And kind of interesting, they also follow in the footsteps of at least 5 of their immediate family members: Nancy, Todd, Greg, Steve Schuver, Hanford Gross, all prior winners of the Grosberg Young Leadership Award. We have no doubt that the 2 of them will continue to follow in their footsteps and work for the betterment of our community. Before I call up Stacy, I want to acknowledge J.J. Flotkin, who's a prior winner, and Margot Newman, who respectively chaired and staffed this year's selection committee. Stacy, come up and tell us.
Thank you, Barry. Let me start by congratulating Brad Gross on this prestigious honor of the Young Leadership Award. He actually is young, much younger than me. He very well deserves this, and I know we have yet to see the impact he will have on our community in the future. I'd also like to thank all my friends and extended family for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And if any of you know my dad, my brothers, and my sons, you realize what a sacrifice it is for them to be here and miss the Cardinals-Cubs game, especially because one of my sons is a Cubs fan. But I won't tell you which one. Thank you. 2 years ago, when my oldest son, Sam, was in kindergarten, I overheard this conversation between he and a friend. Sam asked his friend, "Does your mom work?" And his friend said, "Yeah, in a store. Does your mom work?" Sam hesitated and then answered, "Yeah, she works to get money and other things to help Jewish people." And my 6-year-old son, Ben, has already told me he wants to give some of his toys to kids who don't have any. Each year on his birthday and for Hanukkah, he makes a pile of gifts for needy children that we take over to Jewish Family and Children's Service. Even my 3-year-old daughter, Molly, when pretending she's the mommy in her imaginative play, often says to me while walking out the door, "Bye, Mom, I'm going to a camp meeting at the J." So this is what it's all about for me. I share with my children my reasons for being involved in the Jewish community, to set an example for them and to teach them to be selfless. And I'm so proud that at their young ages, they clearly understand what I do and why I do it. They know that when I leave them with a babysitter to attend various meetings, or when I leave town to attend conferences or assist needy Jews elsewhere, I'm doing this work because it is important to their future as well. I too saw the example of being involved in the community as a young child, because my dad was also always leaving to attend those mysterious meetings. As cliche as it might be, my dad always told us, if Jews don't help Jews, no one will. And I never understood that more than when I traveled to the former Soviet Union on a mission with National Young Leadership Cabinet. While in Minsk, I visited an elderly Jewish woman in her apartment. Just entering the dark, decrepit, and smelly old building was daunting and scary. How could someone live like this, I wondered. Up countless flights of stairs with no elevator, I entered the apartment of an 88-year-old woman named Elsa. It was tiny and bare. No pictures, only a few pieces of furniture, total silence. She was lying on her bed where she spent most of her days and nights. The only colorful item I saw was a bright blue JVC food box on the counter in which she had just received matzah for Passover. Her social worker was there too, and a translator. The translator explained to Elsa that we were the ones who donate money so that she could receive that weekly food box on her counter. Our donations, she explained, also paid for her weekly home visits by a doctor, a social worker, and a social companion. Through the translator, Elsa looked me in the eyes and said, "If it weren't for you, I would have nothing. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even be here." She was right, and my dad was right. If her fellow Jews were not helping her survive, who would? And needless to say, that experience made real for me the reason that as a Jew, I need to continue to donate my money and my time to help others. I am fortunate to have attended many missions to visit Jews around the world in the past 10 or 12 years. And while on another mission, this one more fun and in Israel, I was on an archaeological dig when some good-looking yet rather cocky guy asked me for a piece of gum. Little did I know that 12 years later we would be married with 3 children. Meeting my husband Greg in Israel and sharing that experience was really special. Going to Jewish agency sites, meeting IDF soldiers, praying at the wall on Shabbat, and visiting our Federation sister city together created a special bond between us. And after learning his mom was as involved in the Jewish community as my dad, it seemed we were on the same path. It really helps that we share the same values about being active in the Jewish community, and Greg sets an incredible example for me to follow. Thank you to the Jewish Federation for choosing me for this very honorable award. Receiving it is extra special to me, as Barry said, because several of my family members are past recipients. My husband, 2 brothers-in-law, a cousin, my mother-in-law have also all received this award. Thank you, Greg, for your support and encouragement in my work. And thank you, Sam, Ben, and Molly, my kids who are here tonight, for understanding why I sometimes need to leave you. I am so proud that the 3 of you are already beginning to help our Jewish community, and I'm confident that one day you all will deserve to receive this award as well. Thank you.
A little gift?
Thank you.
Okay. And she wants to take a picture.
Thanks.
Great. Congratulations. You get that, actually. Thank you, Stacy. Well, it wouldn't be an annual meeting if I didn't make at least one mistake, so I apologize to Steffi Grosberg for forgetting you the last time. Steffi's also a past winner of the Grosberg Young Leadership Award, and we're really glad to have you back here with us tonight. Brad, your turn.
Good evening, everyone. Mashana Tova as well. Stacy as well, to you and your family, Mazel Tov, and it's a great honor to be up here with you tonight as well. For those who watch the show Mad Men, there was a line recently from the main character, Don Draper. Well, I'm from the Midwest. We were taught it's impolite to talk about ourselves. With that in mind, I will try and be brief. A recent team building process that I took part in asked the question, how did you get involved in Federation? What is your story? My response to this was quite simple, maybe mildly comical. My father, who I worked with 10 years ago or so, suggested I make an annual contribution to the campaign and get involved with this YPD thing over there. While this might not be a strategy that works for all, it has proven very effective, and the more that every day I find about Federation and what they do, the more and more I want to be involved financially and with my time. I would encourage all of us here in this room to have this conversation, if not for the first time, yet again, with your family and friends and colleagues. I promise it'll be very engaging and very refreshing at the same time. 5 years from now, maybe 10, or even further out from there, are we going to look back on today and said, wow, we really should have done this, or maybe perhaps, boy, in 2010, we kind of missed an opportunity here. Awareness is one of the most difficult intangibles to possess and self-manage. To be able to evaluate ourselves, as an organization, as a company, as a product, whatever it might be, what needs to be tweaked, what's working, what isn't working, and more importantly, where is the next opportunity? That is my definition of awareness, and something I want to stress to everybody in the room tonight. Age-wise, as Stacy maybe alluded to earlier, I represent a bit of a tip of the iceberg, as the saying goes. I have 3 younger brothers, and as far back as high school, I could see that the trend from my high school graduating class to my youngest brothers grew by over 50% in less than 10 years. The same is true today for our YPD groups and our younger Ben Gurion Society members, and so on and so forth. The numbers are just growing dramatically, and it's an opportunity that we need to seize and make an impact for a long, long time, many generations to come. Unfortunately, it is not just simply a matter of snapping our fingers and having the people show up and getting them engaged. Everyone is busier than we've ever been. Deadlines become shorter and shorter every day, and we are stretched to our max with our time and our dollars. Everyone in this room knows somebody that falls into this next generation age bracket, below the age of 45, and a large number below the age of 32. However, and I use the word tended here, because it is a bit of a past tense situation. People are getting more involved at that age bracket. They want to become engaged, and they are engaged. And I might not be here, but they are engaged in other organizations, and they're looking to become engaged here. I'm seeing it one-on-one with people that I never, ever expected to see get engaged with Federation, and I'm very, very encouraged by this. We better be prepared for this because, if we get these people in, the sky truly is the limit, as the saying goes. There are many groups that I am involved within Federation, from the Ben Gurion Society and Cabinet to the New Gifts campaign of 5 for $50. And if you don't know about this, I'd be happy to shed some light on it afterwards. The people that I work with here, professional and lay, thank you so much. It is really an honor to be up here tonight representing all of us that work together so well. I am smart enough to know that without all their support and backing, all that we have accomplished in the past just doesn't happen. In extending my gratitude, I would like to thank everyone that is here tonight too, because while I try and make a positive impact on this community every day, it is of course the fact that we have hundreds of people that are just as deserving of this award as myself, and we are able to accomplish it as much as we are every day. I have been involved for over 10 years now, and I am still blown away by this fact. Of course, I would like to thank my family, my parents, brothers, sister-in-laws, and the rest of my extended family, who have all been so supportive of me throughout all my endeavors and adventures. And lastly, I need to thank my girlfriend, Sarah. She, of course, makes me a better person every day just by being who she is. And while she doesn't always love the fact that my time is stretched out so thin, she is always there for me and unequivocally supportive. It is a huge honor for me to be up here tonight and associated with this award, and as well as past winners, including Stephanie. Just being nominated would have been enough. Thank you very much.